Hello, guys. Thank you for being here. My name is Sarah Jenkins. I am the owner and founder of Bulk Collective, which is a virtual assistant agency. And I'm also the owner of Elite Permanent Jewelry Academy, which is most likely why you're watching this video today. I'm going to introduce Ahna Elizabeth to you guys. She owns a business that is called, let us know what that is.
Blush Salon and Spa.
Blush Salon and Spa. She's been in the permanent jewelry industry for a long time. So she's a hairstylist or has a spa, and she also offers permanent jewelry. So she's been in the industry for about 4 years. She's one of my original students. She does have a staff of 4 for her permanent jewelry business, which I think is outstanding. She's kind of disclosed some numbers to me that she's generated in revenue, which are really exciting. So I'm going to let her tell you guys about that in a second. And then not only does she have a spa, but she does pop-ups as well. And so she's going to kind of teach us about what she's done to network to get into profitable events. That way she can have things like a staff of 4 for her permanent jewelry business, etc. Okay, Ahna, do you want to take it off?
Absolutely.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about you. I know I did a little introductory, but I want to know, like, who are you? What is your business? What does that voice look like? How are you feeling about permanent jewelry? How it's changed things? And then just kind of moving into what makes you want to have a salon, which is more or less a brick and mortar, right? And then still do pop-ups. So kind of give me your backstory of yourself on your entrepreneurship journey, how you got into permanent jewelry and what that's done for your salon.
Yeah. So I first got into business when I was 19 years old. I worked on the side doing permanent makeup, and then I worked as a commission stylist for a few other companies. And then I decided to take the journey off on my own. One thing that when I was working on trying to build a company that I would want to work for, I knew that I wanted my provider or my boss to be somebody who cared deeply about the money that goes on my paycheck. And after I found out that permanent jewelry can bring up so many good opportunities for additional income, that's fun, creative, all those types of things, I knew that permanent jewelry was for me. So when we brought it on, we then felt like we could serve our clients best by doing pop-ups at their bridal showers, their wedding days. We also joined our local chamber, where we do all things associated with what the city offers for events. So one thing that when you ask the question, like, where do I see it all going, is we're going to become more heavily involved with the events that even our clients are going to be offering, like grand openings, and just really serving our clients more with the permanent jewelry that we offer.
Yeah. And you know, one of the things I say often, especially when people are like, I don't know, should I get into the industry? You know, I'm already in X, Y, and Z. And usually because it's primarily females, right? Yeah, we have males in the industry, but primarily females are the ones that show interest in this industry. And they are like you, where they already are an existing entrepreneur in something beauty related. And so I tell them all the time, I'm like, listen, you already have a leg up because you're an entrepreneur that's already associated with the clientele that is your target clientele for permanent jewelry. So do you feel like that rings true when you brought permanent jewelry into your salon, that you already had clients and it's not like you had to go begging or digging?
Yes, they saw it on my wrist when I blow dry them, and they said, oh, what's that? And the conversation just starts. Another thing that we've been loving adding on is charm shopping. Everything to we just got in like cancer ribbons, we have suicide awareness ones, breast cancer month, we have all things pink. So we've really tried to gear it towards our clients on like things that their life has been affected by, what they love, what they're passionate about. The coolest bracelet I've ever done on a client, I knew she was so attached to her cat, and what could I do for her for the salon side of things to show her that I truly deeply care about the loss of her cat, because I understand they're like children. So I created her a rainbow bridge permanent jewelry bracelet so that she could look at it every day without it being a tattoo.
Yeah, I love that. And I've always said that too, is like permanent jewelry is like for the people who aren't sure they want tattoos because it's got that permanency, right? But like not the full commitment, because you can always get rid of it and it not be affected by that. Awesome. So you fully introduced permanent jewelry into your salon and it was a success. So if you're comfortable, I know that you've already told me, but I want you to kind of explain to those that are watching what your revenue numbers are looking like monthly, how you're able to pay your employees. And if you want, we can segue that employee conversation into, because I know a lot of people are always nervous of like, if I hire someone, they're just going to go start their own business. So let me know, what are your numbers looking like? How is that affecting your employees? And what is your take on employees learning this service from you?
So definitely our summer months are going to be the busiest. So like I stated before that we joined a local chamber. Every Thursday we go up and serve our community by doing permanent jewelry. We've now been established in the community that people know that we're going to be there. So what the numbers typically look like in the summer months is about 8,000 per month. So we start in June, July, and August. So what is that number wise? 24,000?
Yeah, guys, and she's not talking about salon and permanent jewelry revenue combined. She's talking about
This is
just
Thursdays.
additional revenue done on a Thursday. Additional revenue in permanent jewelry alone done on a Thursday is insanity.
Another way that we get clients, even on the salon side of things and permanent jewelry, is that we've been known to be the brick and mortar that people can go to, that when they travel across the world, the globe, the states, wherever it may be, they know they can come to us to get it resized or fixed on whatever they may need.
Yeah.
So we've also gained a lot of clients that way.
Yeah. And I know having a brick and mortar is such an accelerator in your business. Do you feel like it's a necessity having a brick and mortar?
I don't think it's a necessity, but it sure helps.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, you keep mentioning the Chamber of Commerce. I know what a Chamber of Commerce is, but I'm going to go ahead and explain to those that are watching. A Chamber of Commerce, and correct me if I'm wrong, because mine's not this great, but they're okay. Hers is amazing, by the way. She's going to explain to you. So, Chamber of Commerce is done by your community where they interact and collaborate with local business owners to help kind of support local, right? That whole thought and theory. How did you get intertwined into your Chamber of Commerce? What has that done for your business? For those who maybe don't even know what a Chamber of Commerce is, how can they find out if they have one? And then how can they become a part of their Chamber of Commerce, and how will that affect their business?
Yeah, so I think like if you've never heard of your town having one before, just go up to the city hall and just ask if there is a Chamber of Commerce president that you could speak to. And then they would have an events calendar. So when I first joined, I knew that it would bring such good publicity to the public. And then I found the events calendar and I just took it upon myself as the entrepreneur that I am. And I invited myself. I would love to be a part of so-and-so's grand opening. Would that be something that you guys would allow for us to do? Another thing that we've done in our town is like a big wedding expo. I think that permanent jewelry is such a great thing to have on your wedding day. So I just asked. That's what I did. The worst thing you could say is no. So I just go on the events, find it, and ask them if they'd be willing to have me be a pop-up at their event.
The easiest way to fail is by not trying. So I love that. Okay. And how do you feel in the Chamber of Commerce? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think we were talking about this earlier. Is the ones who is how you've secured those Thursday events where you're raking in $8,000+ a month.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, correct. Mm-hmm.
Amazing. And then you didn't tell me how. I want to know kind of how you're paying your employees and how are you so confident in knowing that your employees aren't going to go start their own business after everything you've taught them? Because that's such a huge pain point for entrepreneurs that they're terrified that if they teach so-and-so how to do this, then they're going to leave and have their own business.
I think with the startup cost, what we have to offer, the investment towards all of that, they see that it's worth $20,000. One thing that I do is that when we place the orders, they're fully aware of what the bill looks like at the end. So if $2,300 for one Thursday to restock everything is something on your budget, then I guess that would be for them. But typically speaking, nobody wants to spend $3,000 to be able to offer all that we have for choices on charms and chains.
Yeah, for sure. And how about their pay structure? How are you paying your employees?
So they get 42% of all the sales.
Okay.
Or whatever they do per chain.
And that's working out for you and working out for them.
Yes, everybody feels amazing. My biggest win ever. I'm so proud of it. We went to a little podunk town of maybe 100 people, pulled up to this outside of the building, and I'm like, we're going in there. Google, is this right? Okay, here we go. We walk in. It was an adorable boutique inside. I looked down in the position of welding for over 6 hours, and I got to pay out my employee. Pay out $1,800 in 1 day of work.
Wow. 42% is generous too.
$1,800?
Yeah.
in
Yeah,
one
so
day
why
for
would you
employee.
want to start your own business if you're getting paid like that, right?
Never. It's been the best. And then on average, every Thursdays on Main that we go to, they earn commission wise around $700 to $900 per evening, and we only work from 6 to 8:30.
Yeah, no brainer.
So the average payout is this summer when I added it all up, everybody was making $101 an hour. There's no
There
need to
you
go
go.
start your own business if you're making $101 an hour.
Agree. And I think another thing that people, or not people, entrepreneurs tend to forget is like, we just think it's so easy. And like, why would anyone not want to be an entrepreneur, right? We forget that there's people who are content and happy to be an employee and just collect their check and go home. Because even if you are like you've delegated out all of the tasks and you've automated everything as an entrepreneur, 2 a.m. on a Sunday, you're still thinking about work. And there's some individuals that don't want to do that. But we as entrepreneurs forget, right, that like not everyone wants to be psychotic. So I think if you're listening, that's just kind of my take on it too. And especially like when your employees are paid and taken care of, they want to be loyal to you, right?
Yep.
Okay.